What's good, listeners? Welcome to the Chris College Show, Millennial Bunker Edition. Good morning, Marissa. How's it going, fam?
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Today, it was kind of cold outside.
Yeah,
I
it's
got some
cold. You see
lunar
me? I got the
eclipse.
jacket on in the studio. I can't handle
Mhm.
this cold at the moment. As someone who has been saying it all, even last season in season 9, I'm like, I am over the heat. Now with that, the cold is finally kind of creeping in. Maybe I'm starting to regret. I don't know. I don't know. Who cares about what I feel today? But we really wanted to say this at the top of the show because, we just found out the most tragic news this week, and condolences and love to the family of Papa Joe as he suddenly passed away this week. And we were really looking forward to checking out his Electric Negro comic book series, and hopefully that sees the light of day. But Papa Joe, just want to let you know, if you're listening, we love you, man, and you were a huge inspiration, especially when you lose 400 pounds and then become the physique person that you were today. That's incredible. Such an incredible story. But also, we like to do this at the top of the show because on this day in 2014, Grand Theft Auto 5 is released to the public. And also on this day in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln delivered one of the most memorable speeches in American history. You might know it. You should if you passed high school or junior high. That is the Gettysburg Address. And also, breaking news today, I was actually informed by this by Marissa before we
That's
started the
right. All
show.
things women, honey. All things
All
women.
things women,
Okay.
honey. But President Joe Biden will receive a routine colonoscopy today while he is undergoing a physical at Walter Reed. So the process, which requires anesthesia, means that he will be temporarily transfer the power to Kamala Harris, who will briefly become the first woman president. Pretty wild. I mean,
I told you, okay, for my blog that's dropping today, for Astrological Social Calendar, today was a day for upside down things happening in the world, new opportunities, and the planets don't lie.
absolutely. It's crazy. It's really, really fascinating stuff. But we also want to let you know we got a great show for everybody out there today because our guest on Strike a Chord is four-piece Milwaukee punk band Avenues to discuss their brand new album out today. We're celebrating that album premiere of We're All Doomed. And also, don't forget to check out our brand new podcast series called Off the Fret. More music talk, featuring the Blowies as our inaugural guest. All right, Marissa, it's time to rock and roll. This is hashtag TLDR, Too Long Don't Read. Marissa and I, we did all the reading for you, so you didn't have to do it. In an article from the New York Post titled, Fortnite Exits China as Government Cracks Down on Spiritual Opium by Theo Watt. Fortnite has officially shut down in China just 3 years after launching amid a government crackdown called the spiritual opium of online gaming. In August, the government began barring minors from playing video games on school days and allowing just 3 hours of play during predetermined hours on the weekends. And all I know is if Uncle Joe and Donald Trump said that Americans couldn't play video games for more than 5 hours a day, I'd flip a bitch, okay? Why would I want my government to tell me what I can and cannot do? If I purchased a brand new $60 video game, bet your ass I'm playing that game for 12 hours straight online. And I understand that Epic Games decided to relinquish their servers in China because the country doesn't allow in-app purchases, which is the main source of revenue for Fortnite as it is a free-to-play game. But Fortnite's move is a major win for China if you think about it. China would rather have their youth work 16-hour days making iPhones for Apple and Nikes for LeBron. I mean, overall, even though Fortnite didn't make a single dime during its 3-year lifespan in China, Fortnite brought in $5.1 billion in global revenue in 2020 alone.
Well, celebrities are creating a new alcohol brand that has been the rage Up until now. Because in an article from Complex titled, Mike Tyson says he died after using toad venom for first time, has tripped on it more than 50 times by Mackenzie Cummings Grady. The former heavyweight champion saw what happens in the afterlife after experiencing his first trip with toad venom. Tyson has become an avid advocate for psychedelics since his first trip, and he is currently hard at work designing 2 brands of cannabis. One which will be called, you guessed it, Toad, and will reportedly be based on the experience he had. Tyson added that after becoming involved with toad venom and psychedelics, he lost, get this, 100 pounds and fell back in love with boxing and reconnected with his family. And as someone who can relate to seeing visions of the afterlife through psychedelics, I am not surprised that Tyson is looking to make a buck from his newfound perspective. So, Chris, would you try Tyson's new toad strain, or are you going to use mellower weed strain?
Hell no. I plan on living for a very long time. So if you're trying to infuse cannabis to feel like death, that's a hell no to me alone. Like, I don't even like feeling like a couch potato when I'm smoking indica alone. So, like, if this is the new strain where we're going to have indica, sativa, and then hybrid, and then thud, I guess, because he can't pronounce toad, I'm assuming. You know, he's always got that list.
Say that to his face, homie.
I would. I'm looking you dead in the eye, homie. I am not taking that strain. You're crazy, my man. The thud could stay with you, brother.
You know, I don't know how it's going to be because the strains nowadays are also so concentrated with the THC that you're already kind of tripping and like seeing stuff. So can you imagine
like you could have like
specifically made for that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you, Marissa, because even sometimes nowadays it seems like the sativa is becoming more indica, and I'm just like becoming more lazy when I'm smoking the ganja, which just makes me feel even more paranoid if I smoke too much of it nowadays, which is not the same feeling I used to have in high school. I don't know if that's just called growing up, but if that's, you know, Mike Tyson's suggestion of like living the high life, that's a hard pass in my opinion.
I can say that I do have some friends that were have mental wiring differently, I guess you can say. They've been on really hardcore Prozac and other drugs for mental stability, and they do microdosing. So they take the shroom tea and they take it in small doses throughout the day, and it's actually got them off of pharmaceutical. And
you know, hey, listen, look.
I
mean, sometimes there's certain things for marijuana that work for others that don't work for people who don't like to smoke. And so, you know,
my last trip on shrooms, when I got way too close to God, I'm going to stick with the good old vintage red wine.
That's
and
good,
leave
Marissa.
The trippin' to Tyson.
That's good. Leave the thuds to him. In an article from CNBC titled, Crypto.com buys naming rights to Lakers Staples Center in a $700 million deal by Jabari Young. So the Staples Center will be renamed Crypto.com for $700 million, with the name change taking effect on Christmas Day as the Los Angeles Lakers host the Brooklyn Nets. And the deal links Crypto.com with one of the NBA's top brands, offering crucial brand awareness as the cryptocurrency platform positions itself to capture market share in a growing digital currency space. And listeners, like, what's next? I mean, is the Los Angeles Dodgers going to be known as Doja Stadium, backed by Elon Musk? Or is every time a home run takes place in Dodger Stadium, are we going to be screaming, Doja Coin to the moon? Like, I don't get it. I mean, are you in favor of this, Marissa? Like, I have serious concerns.
I always get mad when things get changed like that because I'm like, I get it. They're investing, millions of dollars into something and they want to have that recognition. But I mean, really, they're only there for the paycheck on top of it. So I just get mad. I'm like, if you're going to invest and do it, go ahead and have that. But then don't just change iconic names of places. Like, I don't know. Doesn't make me sad.
Mean, some, things, the only constant is change. I mean, we've said that numerous times before on the show. But listen, y'all, welcome to the crypt. I mean, that's where we're going. And I got a gut feeling that the Crypto.com arena, I hate to say it to all my LA fans, I'm an LA Laker fan too. Trust me, it hurts me to say this. I have so much pain, but I am forever feeling like our beloved franchise is cursed for the next 20 years. What's good, listeners? This is Just Talking, where Marissa and I discuss all the latest news circulating around the week. This is the week's wrap. The concert-going world continues to change, and one of the latest innovations is not sitting well with a number of artists and special interest groups. Tom Morello, Anti-Flag, and Bikini Kill's Kathleen Hanna, and more have signed an open letter demanding that Red Rock Amphitheater drop their usage of the new Amazon One palm scanning technology. And as pointed out in a website accompanying the open letter, Amazon, Red Rock's ticket company, Axis, and parent company AEG have touted the technology as a mode of convenience, but the artists and groups argue that it opens the door for more biometric surveillance for corporations and governments. And the device allows people to enter the venues with the scan of their palms rather than using a paper or digital ticket. But listeners, you must realize this. Your home address and credit cards may change over time, but a person's biometrics can't be changed, making it easier to identify and track the activities and interactions on concert goers. And also, live shows are supposed to be about creative expression, community, and joy, not a biometric data festival welcoming hackers to control your entire life. I mean, if the Amazon's cloud is hacked, think about it. If the Amazon's cloud is hacked, the biometric data pertaining to your physical self will forever be in the hands of technophilias. So be careful out there, fam. Stay safe. Oh, I know this is the buzz on Tuesday. The new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home throws Peter Parker headfirst into the multiverse. After months of teasing, the latest trailer gives viewers a taste of the timeline chaos that's coming when the movie is released on December 17th. And after Doctor Strange casts a spell to make people forget he is Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Peter Parker is pit against the villains of earlier movies. So, as you can see, we got this little cool movie charade right here. We got the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, the Lizard. I mean, we obviously saw Dr. Octavius in the first trailer. We got Electro coming back. That's Jamie Foxx. That's going to be cool. Sandman, Lizard, Green Goblin, you name it. But don't expect any other Spider-Mans just yet. But Marissa, like, my thing is, it's like, don't you feel like trailers nowadays show too much? I mean, I would have loved to hear these massive reveals while on the big screen instead. I mean, what's your take on that?
I agree with you. And I have to say that I always feel when a trailer is too good that they just gave away the only good parts of the movie, because that's happened way too often recently. So I'm always like, no, just give me snippets.
They really introduced the perfect standard of what I would say a superhero Easter egg trailer is with the very first one. Like, all I needed to know was like, oh my gosh, Green Goblin's little grenade just showed up. I saw a little quick, sand. Was that the Sandman? Did I just see a lightning bolt? Is Electro coming back? That had me hyped up enough and already kind of getting that itching feeling that something great is about to happen. Now that I've kind of seen it, I'm just hoping that they didn't spoil the finale. So I guess we'll see what's good. Bet your ass that I'm going to see this one over the Eternals. Mommy issues going on today. It's all good. But hey, let's get right on into the next topic, because the 2021 Game Award nominees have been revealed, and it's safe to say there are a few clear front runners alongside the usual illicit mix. So Arcane's time-warping Deathloop and Sony's multi-dimensional Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart were two of the most frequently nominated titles, picking up 5 nominations each that included Game of the Year, Art, Sound, and Acting categories. Other multi-nominated titles included the co-op action platformer It Takes Two, the long-expected Psychonauts 2, and the just-released Forza Horizon 5, and also Metroid Dread, which is a 2D game. I'm kind of surprised it got nominated for Game of the Year, alongside Resident Evil Village, reached Game of the Year and the Action shortlist. And I want to point out, I think it's fair to say in 2021, some of these nominations probably wouldn't have made the list if it were not for a large number of major titles delayed for the next year. But, you know, we got a huge lineup coming in 2022 because games that were delayed and most likely will be contenders in the Game Awards in 2022 will be Halo Infinity, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Batman Arkham, and Dying Light 2, to name a few. Like, that's only a few. I am so excited for the year of 2022. Well, let's get it. Oh, I didn't hear a sound. I was just waiting for the sound cue. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's weird. I was playing the sound. I was we're getting it. We're getting it, Chris.
Jamming on your end. I don't know if the listening audience saw it, but just know like Marissa was in the zone for a second.
I was totally there. I was like, da-da-da-da-da.
Hey, but it's all good. Let's jump to the next topic. Hey.
Go ahead.
Oh, we love it. That's funny. But hey, Universal Music Group is modifying its contracts to extend the period in which an artist can re-record their music after the success of Taylor Swift's re-recorded albums. So before, a standard contract stated that an artist couldn't re-record their work 5 years after their last delivered recording or 2 years after the end of their contract term, whichever is later. And the new format increases the time after recording to 7 years and the time after a contract term to 5 years. So will Universal's change likely set a standard for other recording companies? I sure think so. What do you think, Marissa?
100%. Yeah, it's gonna, and you know, and it's unfortunate because once again, here's an artist being able to take back control and power for them. Chris just left his seat.
No, I got you. Sorry.
You know we're on gallery.
I grabbed my water.
I can't switch it when
I was spilling water. No, I got
Chris doesn't care about my point of view.
No, I'm with you because
no, like, what I'm saying is it's that once again they're finding a way to screw the artist.
No, absolutely. Well, you could say it that way, but then also at the same time, you have to remember that there was an investment firm that purchased the rights to Taylor Swift's music for $300 million just last year. So when you hear that the artist that you just purchased the rights to her music is re-recording the song catalog that you just paid $300 million for, yeah, I would be kind of concerned as a record label because your number one reaction is, am I going to be able to compensate that money that I just got the rights to it?
The record label only cares about the record label because they didn't cut Taylor Swift any of that money. She's not getting any of that profit from it. So,
well, I mean, like we've stated numerous times in the show, because Taylor Swift has become an ongoing topic when it comes to strike a chord at times. But like, she had plenty of chances to buy her music. But now she's doing something that no one has done in the modern era, I would say. And she is setting the next standard.
I'm not going to jump in. She
record.
didn't have plenty of chances to buy her music. She actually tried to buy her music.
No, she didn't.
And was bought out and wasn't able to get it.
Yeah, because she tried to buy it when the transaction was already taking place. So she lost out to Scooter Braun. She should have purchased it the minute she dropped her second album, her third album. She had a really bad PR firm around her, and it's unfortunate. But then again, she's laughing at all of us because she is making dinero, and now she's controlling the streaming revenue. This is one of my highlights of the week. Like, for me, listeners, this was my highlight. You know, because Fox News host Laura Ingraham sparked mockery on social media after becoming confused when she believed a guest discussing Netflix television show You was actually referring to her. So the exchange quickly went viral online when Penn Bagley, the series star, was questioning whether the bit is real or fake. And listeners, you just have to be the judge. Let's play the full clip.
Antidote to the politics and all those woke storylines in so many shows today. You know, I was watching an episode of You where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
I don't know. It was on You.
Wait, what was on me? What are you talking about? Right? Is Raymond even hearing what I'm saying? I never had the measles.
Was on You.
We never did we never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke?
I know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It was on you. It was on you.
I've never had, Raymond, I've never had measles. What are you talking about? This is stupid.
It was an episode of a show, Laura.
What's it called?
You.
What is he talking about?
It's called You.
I've never done a show on measles. I just completely give up. We got to get out
It's
of
a
this.
show
I give up.
called You on Netflix.
There's a show called Lowering on Netflix. What are you
Never
talking
mind.
about?
I'm moving on to Adele. I can't explain this to you. A pop singer had an open.
I don't know. That still cracks me up. It just reminds me of that famous Costello bit, where he goes, "Who's on first? Who? Who's on first? Who?" Or most millennials would know. It's something straight out of Dude, Where's My Car? It's like, sweet. No, what's on the back of my back? Dude. No, what does mine say? Sweet. No, so it's a classic bit. Listeners, you decide, is it real or fake? I'm going to go with, I think it was genuinely real. But that
Okay, so I was with you on cause I don't watch her a lot. I get clips and so on. So I was like, whoa, is she that clueless? Come to find out, we were wrong. Raymond even tweeted that it was fake.
Yeah, but
It
then
was all set up.
Raymond looked like a total jackass, trying to explain himself live on the air. So what is your natural reaction when everybody's making a mockery of you online? Do you just defend yourself and go, "Hey, listen, look, Laura's not," that's it. Come on. We all know Laura's a smart gal, but the fact that this bit happened live on air, I don't know if they're smart enough to come up with a bit like this. I genuinely think she just got caught off guard doing their little entertainment bit, for a couple minutes. She probably wasn't informed. She probably jumped on late, live on air, was ready for her interviewees, but not necessarily for the entertainment bit. Maybe she just kind of forgot what the hell You was. Because I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot what the show You was. I've never really been watching this show.
I watch You.
Yeah, because the more I read about it, it seems like one of those creepy fantasies that women like to watch. A serial killer that loves his girl and all that. Yeah, it's like that's
really
kind of
creepy.
shows that don't necessarily need to fall into my forte, per se. But hey, you be the judge. Was that a situation out of Dude, Where's My Car? You let us know what's good in the comments. Yeah. This is just insane how we keep having these conversations more and more every day. And Instagram is asking suspected bots to provide a video selfie showing multiple angles of their face to verify that they are a real person, according to social media consultant Matt Navarra. So Instagram has long struggled with bot accounts, which can leave spam messages, harass people, or be used to artificially inflate like or follower counts. But what is this, Spank Bang? Where I must record a video selfie to prove that I am a real slut? Hell, my own bank doesn't even ask for a video selfie. So, what happened to the good old CAPTCHA? The verification tool where I would click the pictures with the bicycles. This is kind of strange. Why are they so obsessed with biometric data, Marissa?
Okay,
we're getting ready for the
they're
meta.
making a meta. And the more videos that we send out there, because remember, Facebook owns Insta, the more we put all of our stuff, the more we can get integrated into the universe, whether they like it or not. But my thing is, I don't even care about Instagram. The dating apps need this. Okay, because often people go and they're talking to someone, they're looking good. You see them in person, you're like, whoa, nothing like you 20 years ago. They need some live video reaction for the dating apps.
That is kind of strange. I love you to death, Marissa. You are my co-host. I love you forever. But it is sort of strange for you to support that when it comes to the video dating world. When you were the same individual last week, like I said at the top of this week's wrap, they're introducing the Amazon One palm scanning technology, which is biometric data. You only have one physical self, and that's your body.
A video of you is not biometric data. Biometric data,
Marissa.
no, it's not. Biometric data is actually taking a fingerprint, and then they are scanning your eyeball, right? So if you're
face,
having stuff
your
like
skin,
that
your
is. But
physical
having
features.
a video where like this, that is not biometric
Marissa.
data. Now, is it used in the same
That is
file?
biometric
yes,
data.
it can be used in the same thing, but no,
Marissa.
it comes down to your actual fingerprints, the eyeball retina scanning. That's what you go into an airport when they
Marissa.
have the eyeball.
Marissa,
That's
you're
what
the
they're
same
scanning.
individual that said last week you wanted less policing at concerts,
Yeah.
correct? Okay, so when you support the idea of collecting biometric data,
I didn't
like
support it. I
thumb,
was saying if anybody's
palm,
going to use it, let's do it on the dating apps. If anybody's going to do it on there. I don't go on dating apps because I don't need to.
So you're saying
But I'm just
before you
saying,
even
if
make
you're
a
going to have it
match-
out there, what?
Marissa, before you make a match, you're
Yeah.
saying you got to submit multiple angles to the server before you become compatible? Because you do realize that there's already people cheating this Instagram system by just placing a Barbie doll in front of the camera and then putting multiple angles. So, like, anytime you have
saying,
to log
Chris-
into that account, you have to use that same Barbie head every time because they're using the biometric data of the physical self. Like, I don't know where you're getting at saying that using your thumbprint and your physical self is not biometrics, but I guess that's a
I
debate
didn't
for
say
another
that.
day.
Using your thumbprint
you
is
said the
biometric
face
data.
is not
Chris,
biometric data.
Using your thumbprint is biometric.
I know, along with your
Taking a
along
photo
with your
like
face.
This is not. Taking
Okay.
a photo is not.
You're the
using
one
your
that-
thumbprints, using your fingerprints, using your retina scanning, right?
Yeah, I absolutely hardcore 110% disagree with Marissa's take, and I hope people don't have the same opinion as Marissa. But then again, I love her to death.
All right,
I don't. I think you're dead ass wrong on this segment.
What biometric data is.
You're going to have to right after the show. But let's get on to the next topic. That's crazy. But get this, we got an update on rapper Travis Scott. So Travis Scott's legal woes continue as an attorney just outlined $750 million lawsuit brought against him, Drake, Apple, and Live Nation by 125 Astroworld Festival attendees. So Travis and Live Nation offered refunds to all those who attended the festival, but the lawsuit pushed back on the gesture by calling it, quote, a transparent and grotesque effort of the defendants to limit their liability, end quote. So as it stands, 10 people have died due to the event that occurred 2 weeks ago, and the youngest being 9 years old. We got one more headline to discuss during this week's wrap. According to a new survey by Good Hire, 60% of millennials find purpose at work, but many are still looking to quit. That's in contrast with Gen Z, which 41% say that they are looking for an exit strategy. So Marissa, as I like to joke with you, I mean, you are the soccer mom millennial on the upper tick of the generation, right? So like, don't you think the reason Gen Z feel different about work compared to, let's say, older millennials is because you, not so much me, but you have experienced the two of the biggest downturns in recent history? I would say one, the Great Recession, and the global economic woes of what we're dealing with today because of the pandemic.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I am talking to who are looking into entrepreneurial work, stuff where they can continue to make money without being dependent on being shut down, of having someone else depend on your livelihood. We're seeing in corporate situations too, where people are putting in their 10, 15, going on 20 years, they're almost there, and then being let go. Without rhyme, explanation, just saying, hey, we're just going to go ahead and rework stuff. And they're having to start over. And it's harder to start over at 40 than at 30. And so here it is again, where it's like, what else? What else? And so it's just trying to take control back.
But don't you think some of this has to do with, you know, Postmates, Uber Eats, which is making some of the younger generations feel like they have a little bit of more self-control when it comes to their employment instead of, you know, having to work at an office space? Because we are starting to see that a lot of younger generations want to invest in the gig economy. You know, they want to invest in themselves. They want to work at home. Do you see that sort of swaying when things kind of get back to normal? Will Gen Z start to change their mind? I kind of thought that was a huge cultural shift, in my opinion. I would have sort of thought that the millennials and Gen Z would sort of be on par and say, we don't like to work. I mean, when the majority of people that I know say, I don't necessarily want to go back to work. I just want to collect a stimulus check. So I guess we'll have to see what's good. But we got more left on the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show, as we're about to be getting to the half-hour mark of the live show. So stick around, more left.
Where I go? Hello. I'm switching cameras.
You're a Martian.
Zoom is being crazy. What's going on here? Oh my gosh, you disappeared. You literally disappeared. Oh, that's so weird.
Hey,
Hold on.
guys. Hey, this is just the live radio
No,
show.
this is Zoom.
Reality.
I can't find you.
It's all
Hold
good.
on. This
Hey,
is so
but as
crazy.
Marissa's trying to figure out situations
Here we
going
go. Okay.
on, we're moving on.
Wow, Zoom just did something crazy. I was disappeared. Let's do it again. Ready?
All right, what's good, listeners? Joining us on Strike a Chord is four-piece Milwaukee punk outfit Avenues, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Also, check out our brand new podcast series, Off the Fret, featuring The Blowies as our inaugural guest. More music talk out now wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'm beyond stoked for this. I can't believe you guys have even allowed us to even be able to talk to you on the day of your album premiere of We're All Doomed. And I was one of those cats up late last night, around 9 p.m. I'm lucky on the West Coast. You know, drops at midnight, the album. It is such a banger. So much of that fast palm muting, amazing bass fills. I love the drumming, everything. And let's get right on into it. I mean, it's my understanding, guys, and before we begin, it's funny. I know that we're missing Vin today, and you guys made a funny pun because usually a lot of the times I talk to bands, you know, before the show to kind of get them used to some of the Zoom glitches, even like some of the listeners were experiencing before we even brought you in now. That's just the reality that we're in with COVID, right? But you guys joked with me, and you guys said, I always like to ask you guys, what is something on your mind that you guys are passionate about that you want to speak on during your time on the Chris Collins Show? And one of the Brook brothers, you guys go, Galaga. I'm like, Galaga? Like, what are you talking about when you mean Galaga? So can you explain what Galaga means to Avenues?
Sure. Mark, you wanna fill him in on the world of Avenues and Galaga?
We, if we ever break up, it's not gonna be that hard to figure out why, and it's probably because it was a Galaga incident, you know, of us playing against each other and trying to top, you know, the high score.
But it's my understanding that you guys are celebrating the album premiere of We're All Doomed, but your vocalist and guitarist is in Cincinnati? Galaga tournament?
Yeah,
that's so punk rock.
Regionals, man. You know, duty calls. You gotta blow up some battleships, right?
Hey, you know the drill. And the fact that you boys are so supportive of your vocalist is just awesome. I love it. But let's get right on into the album because it's my understanding that We're All Doomed took almost 4 years to complete. And why did it take so long?
And it compounded on a lot of stuff. So originally we were down at Atlas Studios in Chicago working with Matt Ellison to start drum demos and all that good stuff. And you got through tracking it. And then at that time, Mark was living in Austin. So he got done doing his part, moved home. A week or so later, we get notified that he was sick and in the hospital. So he can get into the gory details of what happened.
Yeah, that was like I was reading. I don't even want to even try to announce like even the medical term of what happened to you, Mark. But it was something to do with your intestinals, right? I mean, how crazy is that? Especially when you're a drummer and you got to bounce around on that drum seat. I mean, I can only imagine the pain you were going through.
Oh, it's the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced in my life. It's called diverticulitis, and I had surgery at the like April 2018, and it was just awful. And they removed actually 6 inches of my colon out of my body, and then everything was fine for a while. I was discharged, but then like I got home and I was home for 2 hours, and then I started feeling this even worse pain that I felt even beforehand, and the repair actually erupted. So I had a leak in my colon. So then I started having all the bio and stuff spewing in my body, you know, inside my body.
Yeah.
And so then after that, a septic, I lost like, you know, 100 pounds or something. I couldn't walk anymore. I was paralyzed. I had to go through physical therapy just to learn how to walk again. So today is like really, really special for me to be able to go from learning how to walk again to having the record finally out today. So
that is so badass.
Yeah.
I love hearing stuff like that, especially since, I kind of want to throw this at all of you guys, because obviously there are people behind the scenes like these streaming behemoths like Spotify. And I wanted to say this quote with you guys, because this is what the CEO, David Icke, said literally last year. And he said, quote, "You can't record music every 3 to 4 years and think that's going to be enough." So he doesn't know the situations that Avenues just went through. But when you hear what David Icke said, what's your thoughts on this?
It's infuriating because he has no idea what he's talking about. Let's put it this way. There's a huge overhead. If you want to go to a professional studio, you want to do it right, you got to pay a lot of people, lot of people to make this thing happen. It's not like we're making millions putting this out there. We do it for the passion. So to hear that he wants to give you pennies on the dollar,
not even a penny. He wants to give you guys a third to a fifth of a penny per stream. I mean, when you guys hear that, doesn't that piss you off? I mean,
yeah, because you're putting in at least we'll say a $10,000 to $20,000 investment to make something happen. Then you got to front the merch, the vinyl, and this guy makes a great mousetrap. By all means, it's awesome, but he's ripping you off.
I know. Do you guys ever feel like you guys are going to win that battle? I mean, we can revisit that, but I did want to leave enough time to be able to play one of your guys' singles off We're All Doomed, and we're about to play the music video, Lights Out. I love the chorus, baby. It's a jammer. It's an anthem. So let's check it out right now, Marissa. Let's show the CCS family what's good. This is Avenue's music video, Lights Out, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Yeah, that's what's good. That is Avenues, and that's their track Lights Out on their brand new album out today, We're All Doomed. And I wanted to revisit something that you guys just said before we just played the music video to Lights Out, because, you just stated, it's so infuriating when we hear that David Icke says these things. And I want to bring up something that was kind of relevant, last week was, Limp Bizkit, they dropped their album, and they decided to only release the album online because they have that high stature to not have to rely on physical sales to bring in that popularity, because they've been doing it since since what, in the 90s, right? You guys don't have that luxury like a Limp Bizkit. So, with live events slowly starting to return, have you guys found that now that the album's out today, what's like the number one thing that you guys feel that Avenues needs to do to set the standard for the next 5 years to come?
Yeah, I think it's obviously touring and getting onto the festival circuits to really just promote and make that name. We've done well in that in the past, so I think just the name recognition, getting on the road just to really sell more of a DIY grassroots type of thing, where we've seen the benefits of that work out for us of getting across the country, getting wanting to get overseas is like the next mission with Spam, getting signed to that label. But thinking, we got to hit the road to get the notoriety. You can't just sit behind and be a keyboard warrior and expect to get big.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be eating hot Cheetos, smacking, your keys on the keyboard. You guys got to be active as much as you can. And let's talk a little bit about the record because, I'm curious, how would the band describe the overall theme of We're All Doomed? Because it's clearly not about the pandemic as much as it's been released during the pandemic. Am I wrong? I mean, what's your guys' take on it?
So obviously, we were working on it for a good part 4 years. So when we got the album artwork done ahead of time, we're always trying to think of like, what the heck are we going to name this album? And we had the title track called We're All Doomed. Like, hey, this fits the artwork. Let's kind of write a theme of like kind of post-apocalyptic undertones to it, and then mix that in with like our roots of like the skate punk and, some songs about chicks and stuff like that too, or getting into, video games, but trying to have that undertone. And as we got closer to finishing up the album, then kind of getting into some of the political stuff that was going on and trying to, mash it all together and kind of have
and that's definitely one of the next singles that we're about to be playing on the Chris Collins Show, which is Devious. And for myself, when I was listening to the album last night, it really reminded me of like wanting to jump back on Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You guys easily fit that soundtrack. There's a lot of that fast palm muting. It's always like that famous coin phrase in the punk industry. You can literally bounce a quarter off of those toms. That's how fast you're playing, Mark. It's incredible, especially even the bass lines that are coming in, and I love it. But there was a particular line that drew my attention in the track Devious, where Ben sings, "With our conviction, there's ignition, a new horizon. We can change the world today. It's in our vision. It's our decision. Don't look away." So what's in our vision for our generation?
That's a great question, because I think for a lot of people, it means a lot of different things. And at that time when that song was being written, we're looking at the climate of there was a huge change on the horizon and saying that, hey, do your part, do your civic duty, and go speak your word. Go out there and make the change. Be the change you want to see in others.
So it's more about your physical self, less about the overall political climate. Because I know that there's certain imagery that's being presented in Devious. So like you guys are kind of taking it more of on like the approach, Mark, that, it's more about you need to find out who you are first before you become that, that stature in life. Is that sort of what you guys are trying to get at?
Yeah. And just knowing that like, you have to band together and make change. So it's, you have to figure out what you stand for and then go participate. Because if you're going to sit back again and be a keyboard warrior, talking crap on Facebook and other social media. So you guys,
okay, this is like the second time you've even referenced this now. So you guys got some big beef with Antivis, the kind of people that just like to talk shit online and don't actually bring real change to the real world. I mean, you guys are sort of sounding like Greta on a level, she's talking about the climate summit. She goes, all we hear is blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden more drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, so you guys want to actually see more action and less talking.
Exactly. Everyone's all talk, but put your money where your mouth is. Go do something about it.
Like the classic face-to-face line. You're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk, baby, right? And let's just let the music video speak for itself, because it's that kick-ass. It's a great song, guys. You are all in for a treat, the CCS family. This is Avenues music video, Devious, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Dude, I love it. I was just watching Mark the whole time, just completely jamming out to his own track. That's the exact way I imagine you guys jamming out to your brand new album out today. That's called We're All Doomed. And that was the track we were just listening to, was Devious. It's an amazing record.
You know, I like a lot about your sound too. It's very like early 90s punk. To where you can like sing along, and yet it's fast, and it has a short. It reminds me of like, I call it like skater punk, where you can be like out skateboarding, taking off trips. Like, it was really cool. I really love. I love the avenues. I love
Well, I know
sound.
that, you know,
that's
like,
the kind of punk I really enjoy.
No, it's so true, Versa, right? I mean, it's, you know, I know that Circle Jerks, the Adolescent 7 Seconds, they're about to do a tour pretty soon, but I don't know about you guys. You guys deserve to be on a bill like that. Or you guys just deserve to be on your own lineup in itself, because you guys are setting the standard for the new decade of skate punk. It is truly one of a kind. And, you know, one of the things that I want to remind the listening audience, you are listening to Strike a Chord, where if you actually physically or digitally pick up that record, you're going to know these tracks. And we got the one and only Avenues here with us. And the next track that we're about to be playing from you guys is you guys did a cover of Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult, and I admire and love Blue Oyster Cult, but I can't imagine too many millennials listening to them today. So, like, that's my reaction. Like, why did you guys want to do this song?
So it was actually Vinny's idea. He had a buddy cruising by, you know, by his apartment, and he was just blasting this song, you know, and he honks at him, and Vin's like, oh, hey, what's up? And then the song, I guess, triggered something in his head, and he instantly heard it. He was like, oh, man. And he texted me. He's like, I got a great idea for the song. You're going to love it. And I was like, okay, cool. I usually love anything that we work on anyway. So then next thing you know, I hear this track totally out of left field, because I wasn't expecting it at all. And it kind of went from there. But I mean, I think we all kind of grew up listening to this music. So I know I certainly did, you know?
Yeah, what about you, Brooks Brothers? I mean, how did you guys first react when you first started? Were you kind of looking at Vin like, hey, bro, like, I get that you're still living in the past with Galaga and Blue Oyster Cult, but, like, do you really think that our target audience is going to be, like, can fuck with this? Are they going to jive with it? I mean, how did you guys first react?
So it was one of those, like, no offense to the original, and the original is great in its own regard, but I'm like, now it's better.
Right, you guys make it a little bit more up tempo. It's a little bit more fast paced, and I mean, was that kind of the drive that you guys wanted, like the same lifestyle that you guys had as kids growing up, listening to this style of music?
Yeah, it was one of those, like, we just want to put our spin on it, and it turned out better than I would have thought. You hear the original, then turn ours up, and then it's going to 11, literally blasting through it.
Yeah, so you're saying the only way to listen to Avenues Godzilla is by turning it up to 11. So listeners, if you're listening, we're about to be playing that song in about like T-minus 2 minutes. So like, just be prepared to crank the volume. So warn your mom, you know, tell her to get her ass up. It's time, you know, it's almost the afternoon already. We love it. You know, and I always like to ask these kind of questions to, you know, band members, because, you know, obviously you guys had 4 years, you know, you had a lot of time to try to, you know, get this album to happen. And I'm sure there was a lot of moments where you guys were feeling like, man, you know, like this is taking forever. So how did you guys refuel that creative juice during the times you weren't making music? So like, what were those hobbies that you partaked in when you weren't jamming out on the bass, the drums, the guitar?
I think that's an easy answer. Galaga. Here, man. Like,
I just got set up for it all in all. You know what? Let's just let the music video speak for itself. This is just because you guys are too much. So we're gonna be playing Avenues cover of Blue Oyster Cult. This is Godzilla. You're in for a treat, CCS family, live on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Godzilla!
kind of threw me off guard for a second. I forgot about the legit scream at the end. Almost kind of gave me a panic attack right there. What the hell's going on, Avenues? Okay. But hey, you know, Mark, Sean, and Scott, congrats on the release of your full-length album out today. We're All Doomed. And for the CCS family, how can they follow the band on social media? Just type in Avenues, right?
Yeah, just Avenues Rock. You can find us all over the place. We're on, all the social media outlets. Hear our music on Bandcamp. Actually, all streaming platforms right now. The record's live on there. It's not a very hard search for us. Not too many bands out there with.
Yeah, you heard the drill. And, I just got to say one little message to Vin. I know he's probably listening at the Galaga tournament, but you missed out, buddy, by not joining the Chris College show. And the fact that you didn't, I expect to see not a participation trophy. I expect to see a first place trophy that Galaga tournament. You better bring the boys some dinero. Bring the crown, baby. Bring the crown. We love you guys. Avenues, you guys are fabulous. And hopefully we can talk to you guys in the new year. Congrats on We're All Doomed, and we'll check you guys out later in the new year.
Thank you.
Yes,
Peace,
thanks
guys.
for coming on.
Thank
Ciao.
you both.
You guys are amazing. Have a great album premiere release day, and you guys are amazing. Talk later.
Thank you so much.
Peace. All right, this is What's Good, because there's so much negativity on channels 2 through 11. So Marissa and I, we like to break the mold and let you guys know what's good. So with Christmas soon approaching, the United States Postal Service is putting the word out on the proper way of getting letters from kids in need to Santa Claus at the North Pole or a helpful person near you. So get ready to help Santa deliver even more holiday cheer this year with Operation Santa, where volunteers can adopt a letter and find the perfect gift for a child in need. So sign up now so you're all set up to adopt when the mailroom opens on November 29th. And a fun fact, listeners, in 1912, Postmaster General Frank Hitchcock created Santa's first mailroom, authorizing local postmasters to open these letters for employees to read and then respond. But then in the 1940s, letters poured in so fast, and the program was open to the general public, and now in 2021, it's still living strong. I find that so freaking cool, Marissa, don't you think? I find that incredible. And some of the tools
very awesome.
Right? I mean, I think this is just one of those God-gifted things that I just admire about the United States of America, that we were able to think of these kind of things a century ago. And what's even more crazy, Marissa, is it's like in 2017, the USPS Operation Santa went viral. Online.
I remember that.
I said viral,
yeah.
like, you gotta be real clear with what you're saying, Chris. They went online, so it made even more people get involved and adopt more letters, which is just so cool. So
I'm doing my first letter with Lilac this year.
Oh, I love how you're bringing.
Letter.
Oh, that's so cute. That's really cool. You're making your. I love that message. You kind of left me speechless. Like, why don't you do that with your daughter or your son? Like, I mean, why don't you get them just as much in that creative spirit? And you can teach them those valuable lessons about being thankful where you're at today and giving a child in need as well. So if you or someone you know has a wish for Santa, visit USPSOperationSanta.com to submit your letter. And it's opening up on November 29th. And also, we want to give one last shout out again to our amazing guest on Strike a Chord, which is 4-piece Milwaukee punk band Avenues. And that album is so freaking killer.
It's
Listen
good.
to it.
It's good. It's
right
a fast,
now.
jam-packed. It's really good.
Right? It's like the perfect Friday album. I mean, you guys got to check it out right now. The album title is called We're All Doomed. And we also want to remind everybody, we got a brand new Off the Fret podcast called Off the Fret Podcast. You can already tell it's the end of the show
that we are featuring on Off the Fret.
Well, our inaugural guest is the Blowies, and we're really excited. During the Thanksgiving break, we are going to be dropping our brand new second episode. And it's actually not just a podcast, We also made it a video interview this time. So you guys you have two options. You can check it out via podcast, or you get to check it out when it drops on YouTube on Friday, Thanksgiving week. And everybody, you're in for a treat because it's UK band The Royals. They are so killer. And, you know, you guys saw inclusive clips earlier in the week. Now you get to see the full thing. But just want to let you guys know, have an amazing weekend. And if you like what you're listening to, go to thechriscollinsshow.com and become a member today and get that free CCS t-shirt. Enjoy the weekend, fam. Peace. The Chris Collins Show presents Music Storm 2021, hosted by Chris Collins and Marissa Pitts, featuring Tiana Kutcher, Some Daggers Wear Red, Desmond Walker, Doulos, Saturn Till June, YT Will,
it feels good to be the bad guy. Walk these shoes, you'll see why. Look at things from both sides, ain't nothing like the
EC Main,
one thug, Lord, show a little mercy on one thug.
The Phoenix Within,
There's more weight in my words than you give me.
Chloe Wilder, Jonas and I, Kane, and Animal Sun.
So tell me how you see reasons to carry on.
Music Storm 2021, available on YouTube Live. Peace. Our brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
I love it. It's more time to chat. Hello.
You would look
Can you
so
hear me?
jazzy.
I love your outfit.
How far would you go to start playing live music again? This slaps harder than my ex when she got her stimulus check. So,
are you here to bring the sexual healing with your music? It's called Everything is Everything, and I guarantee you're going to hear this song in the future. I love the flow, man. Politically charged album. So if you get easily offended, this might not be the album for you. Brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
So excited.
Has Kim Kardashian accidentally sent you a coochie shot?
Do you want to stay there? It's completely your choice. Or you want to...
I feel you. And you know what I love? Off the Fret. More music talk. Peace.